Hi there. All right, we're doing another long-ish psalm, Psalm 71. We've made a talisman to the sun, and specifically to the Archangel Michael. And today we are looking at liberating ourselves from any kind of confining situation. Now, at its most extreme, this could be a liberation from prison, but we're talking about, for most people, the prisons in our lives, circumstances, mental constructs, things like this. Whatever you feel is confining you, whatever you feel like you are trapped by and that you want to be released from. All right, so we are being liberated from confinement with this psalm. Remember, how we work this psalm is magically, not religiously. So we read it through once as an incantation, and then we go through and we mine each verse for its magical fruits, actually the magical seeds that we can plant so that they become fruits in our own lives. All right, this is a long one. Buckle in, enjoy it, because it's going to do you a lot of benefit. You're going to see so much benefit, so much freedom in working this psalm. I'm excited for all of us. All right, here we go. Psalm 71. In thee, O Lord, do I put my trust. Let me never be put into confusion. Deliver me in thy righteousness, and cause me to escape. Incline thine ear unto me, and save me. Be thou my strong habitation, whereunto I may continually resort. Thou hast given commandment to save me, for thou art my rock and my fortress. Deliver me, O my God, out of the hand of the wicked, out of the hand of the unrighteous and cruel man. For thou art my hope, O Lord God, thou art my trust from my youth. By thee have I been holden up from the womb. Thou art he that took me out of my mother's bowels. My praise shall be continually of thee. I am as a wonder unto many, but thou art my strong refuge. Let my mouth be filled with thy praise and with thy honor all the day. Cast me not off in the time of old age. Forsake me not when my strength faileth. For mine enemies speak against me, and they that lay wait for my soul take counsel together, saying, God hath forsaken me. Persecute and take him, for there is none to deliver him. O God, be not far from me. O my God, make haste for my help. Let them be confounded and consumed that are my adversaries to my soul. Let them be covered with reproach and dishonor that seek my hurt. But I will hope continually, and will yet praise thee more and more. My mouth shall show forth thy righteousness and thy salvation all the day, for I know not the numbers thereof. I will go in the strength of the Lord God. I will make mention of thy righteousness, even of thine only. O God, thou hast taught me from my youth, and hitherto have I declared thy wondrous works. Now also when I'm old and gray-headed, O God, forsake me not, until I have showed thy strength unto this generation, and thy power to everyone that is to come. Thy righteousness also, O God, is very high, who hast done great things. O God, who is like unto thee? Thou which hast showed me great and sore troubles, thou shalt quicken me again, and shalt bring me up again from the depths of the earth. Thou shalt increase my greatness, and comfort me on every side. I will also praise thee with the psaltery, I will praise thee with the psaltery, even thy truth, O my God. Unto thee will I sing with the harp, O thou God, one of Israel, Holy One of Israel. My lips shall greatly rejoice when I sing unto thee, and my soul which thou hast redeemed. My tongue shall also talk of thy righteousness all the day long, for they are confounded, for they are brought unto shame that seek my hurt. All right, here we go. We'll get through this together. Stick with me. It's worth it. In thee, O Lord, do I put my trust. Who's the Lord? You know who the Lord is. Is it some guy up in the sky? No. Is it a masculine force? No. The Lord is our Father and Mother. The Lord is the principle of life itself. The Lord is the principles of divinity. Let's just remember quickly some of those. We have the principle of life, we have the principle of soul, we have the principle of infinite spirit, we have the principle of infinite intelligence, we have the principle of infinite divine truth, we have the principle of infinite perfect love. We have the infinite principle of God. We have the principle of perfect power. We have the principle of omniscience, omnipresence. God is everywhere. All right. In thee, O Lord, do I put my trust. What else are you going to trust but perfection? Let me never be put to confusion. So keep my focus on the truth. Deliver me in thy righteousness and cause me to escape. So we are now immediately, right out of the gate, we're asking for what we want. We want liberty. Cause me to escape from whatever this confining thing is. We are asking to be delivered. Incline thy ear unto me and save me. So we are acknowledging that the principle of God is responsiveness. So when we go to God, God responds. God will not come uninvited. None of the angels will come uninvited, because that would be an attack. That would be an invasion. So we have to invite. We have to ask in order to be answered. Be thou my strong habitation, whereunto I may continually resort. So I'm going to live in God. I'm going to live in God continually. I'm going to continually remember to go back to the source, the source, the source, the source. I'm not going to try to figure shit out myself, because I know I always do it wrong. Thou hast given commandment to save me, for thou art my rock and my fortress. God's already said, I will save you. The only thing standing between us and our salvation is us. What do we mean by salvation? It is dependent on you and your lessons. So for somebody who's got financial problems, their salvation is financial security, right? So financial abundance. Somebody who's literally in prison, their salvation would be freedom, would be liberation from that. Somebody who is lonely, their salvation would be companionship, again and again, on and on and on. So that's what salvation is, and God is your salvation. Deliver me, O my God, out of the hand of the wicked, out of the hand of the unrighteous and cruel man. Now, there may be wicked, cruel people outside of you who appear to be the problem, but we're talking about the hand of the unrighteous and cruel man that exists between your ears. And so all those thought forms that are causing the problems are what we are asking to be delivered from. And God is the one that will deliver it, because even though we created those problems, because we are so amazing, because that's how we were created, to be amazing creators, we did it so well that we can't find a way out. We made it airtight. So that's why we have to ask God to deliver us, because God knows how to wake us up from this dream. We don't know how to by ourselves. For thou art my hope, O Lord God, thou art my trust from my youth. Okay, so again, we're just reiterating that there's one place that we can go to get deliverance, and that's good, because there's nothing to be complicated by. There's no confusion there. We just remember, oh, am I confined? Well, there's only one place to get liberty. Where do I go? The source. Okay. By thee have I been holden up from the womb. Thou art he that took me out of my mother's bowels. My praise shall be continually of thee. So we are talking about, did my mother give me birth? Well, yes, she did technically, but it was because of the life principle that we were able to be delivered from that womb and born into this world. So the life principle is responsible for us from the beginning. I am as a wonder unto many, but thou art my strong refuge. So no matter how wonderful people think you are, it's God that's your refuge, not yourself. Let my mouth be filled with thy praise and with thy honor all day long. That's the secret to any of this, especially if you're feeling confined. You need to turn your mind away from that which confines you and praise and honor the life principle all day long. And you'll know when it's time to do that, because when you feel good, it's probably because you're giving praise and honor to the source. When you're feeling bad, it's a reminder that your focus is in the wrong place. So go back to praise and honor. Cast me not off in the time of old age, forsake me not when my strength faileth. In this particular case, old age and failing strength simply means when when our habits, when our ways of living have become so we have become so habituated in them. They are such long-standing patterns. So we don't want to be cast off just because we've been doing it for so long. We don't want to be forsaken just because our strength is failing because we don't know how to get out of this because it's so encrusted in us. That's what we're talking about here. For mine enemies speak against me, and they that will lay wait for my soul take counsel together. All those negative thought forms within you are taking counsel together to screw you over, because that's what the ego is all about. Do not underestimate the power of your ego mind. You made it. It's nothing there's nothing outside of you to be afraid of. You made this, but because you're so good, you imbued it with this pseudo life force, and because it's got this pseudo life force, it's got an actual survival instinct. So it's going to it's suspicious at best and vicious at worst, the Course in Miracles says. And so what we need to do is not expect that the ego is going to save us. We need to be delivered from that, because it's out to destroy us, because it's insane. It's the insane part of us. It's our own cleverness used against us. So there's nothing you don't need to be afraid of the ego. You just need to recognize when you are indulging the ego. Instead, you need to go back to what it said and turn your attention back to the source. Et blah, et blah, et blah. Okay, what happened? Okay, here we go. Saying God hath forsaken him, persecute and take him, for there is none to deliver him. That's what your ego is trying to tell you. There's no hope for you. You gotta do it my way. No, you don't. You go to God. O God, be not far from me. O my God, make haste for my help. Well, God's not far from you. God's the closest thing to you. But remember that God will not come unbidden in any situation. So this, O God, be not far from you. O God, make my haste for my help, is asking for that. It's giving him permission to help you. And then you need to let him. And it'll happen in many different ways, but oftentimes through one of his angels, and in this case we are calling on Michael. Let them be confounded and consumed that are adversaries to my soul. Let them be covered with reproach and dishonor that seek my hurt. Okay, so these, again, we are speaking mostly of our own internal thought forms. We are asking them to be confounded and consumed, right? And covered with reproach and dishonor, so that we recognize them for what they are. Yes, in the physical world, as a reflection of what's going on in your consciousness, oftentimes you will see the same thing happen to people out there, but that's really none of your business. We're not trying to harm people outside of us, but a lot of times they will get what's coming to them, and that's none of our business, but we do notice it when it happens. But I will hope continually and will yet praise thee more and more. So no matter what's going on, I'm going to continually you want to continually hope and praise more and more. That's the ticket here. That's the secret. My mouth shall show forth thy righteousness and thy salvation all the day, for I know not the numbers thereof. You cannot. It's infinite. It's infinite. The amount of blessings that are being heaped upon you. So all you need to do is talk of goodness. Don't let your mouth be used for things like slander and gossip and bitching and moaning and complaining and isn't it horrible and all of that stuff, and you see that a lot on social media. Be careful of that, because that's part of your mouth too, even though you're typing, right? So what you want is all of that energy. You want to be focused on showing forth righteousness and God's salvation all the day. So you want to demonstrate, you want to prove that this is happening. And the only way to prove that is to not indulge in that which is the opposite of what you're asking for. Makes sense? Okay. I will go in the strength of the Lord God. I will make mention of thy righteousness, even of thine only. So that you're going to walk in the strength of the Lord. You're going to walk in the strength of the Lord. it's interesting that the Strength card and Leo and Mikael, they all go together, and I love it when it all kind of does that for us. So you can meditate on the Strength card. You will go in the strength of the Lord. I will make mention of thy righteousness, even of thine only. So you're going to mention, you don't have to say, no, God is righteous, God is righteous. You don't have to do that. But what does God is righteous mean? All of my thinking, all of my speaking is going to be in line with the principles of God. That's what it's not a deity. It's not an external deity. It's the principle of perfect love. It's the principle of perfect trust. It's the principle of perfect truth. All of those things that we mentioned, that's what you need to be focused. You're focusing your mouth on. That is the strength of the Lord right there. O God, thou hast taught me from my youth, and hitherto have I declared thy wondrous works. Okay? If you haven't been declaring his wondrous works by doing what we've just talked about, then that's when your problems start to come in. So from your youth, God's been teaching you, whether you've been listening or not. You can tell by the way your life is working out. But you can, at any moment, you can change it. And there's no time, there's no space, there's no distance in magic, so things can turn around rather rapidly. O God, thou hast taught me from my... Oh, I already did that. Now also when I am old and gray-headed, O God, forsake me not, until I have showed thy strength unto this generation and thy power to every one that is to come. Okay, so now when we're talking about old and gray-headed, we're not talking physically old and gray-headed in this particular case. When we're speaking magically, we're talking about even when you've been at these thoughts become like we talked about, old and crusty, right? Don't forsake me, because I've showed thy strength unto this generation and thy power to everyone that is to come. So not only are you looking at the current thought forms that you've been carrying around for so long and asking for them to be completely blessed, but you are also asking that every new thought form, every new way of being, be blessed therefrom too. So you generation after generation after generation within your own mind. Okay, generations of thoughts and belief systems. Thy righteousness also, O God, is very high, who has done great things. O God, who is like unto thee? Right? So if God is for you, who can be against you? If God is all power, if God is all truth, if God is all knowing, then there is nothing for you to fear. There is nothing to thwart it, because it's pure. There's one, right? So thy righteousness also, God, is very high, meaning that there's nowhere that you can get more perfect than infinite perfection. And so done great things. Yeah, it's the principle of life itself. It makes your heart to beat. It creates the entire universe. So who's like God? Nothing. God is like God. But the good news is that there's no separation from God. We are all as sunbeams to the sun. We even drew some sunbeams into our talisman to remind us of that. Thy righteousness also, oh, we already did that. Thou which has showed me great and sore troubles, that shall quicken me again. That shall bring me up from the depths of the earth. So we're talking about how God will use even your problems to deliver you from the problems. So that not only will those problems that have been so awful, all those confining situations that have seemed so awful, will become blessings. You will be better off than you had ever been because of what you went through. Now, that's not saying that you have to go through pain in order to get there, but when you do go through pain, it becomes a blessing. Isn't that wonderful? So the very things that you're trying to get out of are going to be the road by which God delivers you from them. It's amazing. All right. Thou shalt increase my greatness and comfort me on every side. Well, there we go. Increase your greatness. Comfort me on every side. So greatness and comfort. What better way to start your day than having your greatness increased and being comforted by north, by south, by east, by west, above and below you. Your angels are all about you, comforting you and increasing your greatness. I will also praise thee with psaltery, even with the truth. O my God, unto thee will I sing with the harp, O thou Holy One of Israel. So the psaltery and the harp are symbolic of our ability to play a melody of God with our mind. Now, of course, you can play instruments in real life, and that's a wonderful thing to do, and sing in real life. But right now, we're talking about the internal music that you are constantly allowing to be your meditation by day and by night. You are playing a melody of God in your mind. You are not allowing yourself to go into all of that nonsense chatter. You are always coming back to the melody of God, which is in your mind. O thou Holy One of Israel. So who's the Holy One of Israel? Well, God is the Holy One of Israel, and you are Israel, which is the risen, the exalted one within you. That's your higher self. That's your superconscious mind. So you are one with God in your superconscious mind. So the superconscious mind, we allow that music from the superconscious mind to permeate every atom of our being. That's what we are told to do here in order to become liberated. My lips shall greatly rejoice when I sing unto thee, and my soul which thou hast redeemed, right? So you are always rejoicing with your lips. Internally how you're thinking, but also externally how you're speaking. So you're singing unto God no matter if you're singing or not. Everything is a melodious song unto God, whether it be a thought or a word or a deed. My tongue shall also talk of thy righteousness all the day long. All day long you're talking of God's righteousness. Does that mean you are talking about God the Father, some Hebrew deity, tribal deity? Absolutely not. You're not talking about a deity when your lips are going. You're talking about the good in your life. You're talking about the good. No matter what it appears like in the physical world, you have to find a way to speak good. You have to find a way to discipline your mind and your mouth so that you're not always talking up your problems all the time. Okay, that's what that's talking about. It's not talking about some kind of weird religious speech and proselytization. That's ridiculous. You don't want that. So my tongue shall also talk of thy righteousness all the day long. For they are confounded, for they are brought unto shame that seek my hurt. So when you speak of God all day long and you think of God all day long, everything that is unlike God, everything that is unlike love comes up to be healed, and it's confounded and brought unto shame. Now, what that means is that you, when those thoughts that are not organic unto you, those dark thoughts of the ego are brought to light, they are brought into shame, which just means, not that you should feel shame, which just means that you can say, oh, I see. This is all this stuff that I've been habitually thinking and saying and being and acting like, all these habits. Now I'm seeing it from a different point of view. They've been brought into shame, meaning I can see them for what they are, and therefore I no longer choose them. I no longer indulge in them. My tastes have changed. I no longer have a taste for those kinds of things because I realize that those things bring me into confinement, and I want the liberty that I'm doing this spell for. It makes sense? Okay, well, we got through that one. Very proud of you. We are working on ourselves, aren't we? I want to hear all about your wonderful successes with this magic. Please join us on our Facebook group. We would love to have you there if you're not there. And if you are there, we'd love to hear from you. I can't wait to hear all about what's going on. If you have questions, if you've got problems, if you've got issues, hopefully we can all help you out. We can put our brains together and help you out, all right? Love you very, very much, and until next time, blessed be.